everybody. Thanks for tuning into the OTC Club today. We have a special guest. You all know him as Stockballer. If you don't already follow, please hit that follow button. Make sure you follow the OTC Club and the host. Hit the bell for show reminders on the OTC Club. Alrighty. So, hey, Stockballer.
Hello. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Hello. Uh, so,
Trying to be
first,
professional, you know?
yeah, you don't have to do that.
All right.
Well, hello, Stockballer. Just tell us something about yourself. Tell us a little bit about your background, where you came from, how you got here. Go ahead and give us the rundown.
Yeah, so I mean, at the risk of saying I got anywhere, but I guess I got somewhere. But so I'm 28.
Yo.
I'm a 28-year-old fuck up basically. I didn't really do too much until I started trading. I went to school for a few years. I was out in LA for like 6 or 7 years, I think. Um, I went back to New Hampshire for a few years. I'm from New Hampshire originally, so I'm like an East Coast guy. So went back to New Hampshire for a few years. Ended up doing well in trading and moved down to Puerto Rico for like tax reasons, and yeah, that's where I currently am. So that was the journey. Um, I I didn't really. I would say one thing I always like to emphasize with people is I just, like I said, I didn't really do well for most of my life. So I was always getting in trouble, and I wasn't really doing that much in LA. I mean, I learned a lot about money, and I learned about a lot about business while I was out there, but I definitely didn't advance my career in the way that, in the direction that it is now. Um, so yeah, and then I just sort of found trading, and it was sort of an outlet for me, and all of a sudden, all this positive energy I had could go somewhere that was actually productive and wasn't getting me into trouble or wasn't, screwing up my life or hurting anybody around me. And I sort of just went balls deep and I dove in and learned a little bit every year. I mean, I'm amazed at some of these guys. A lot of people seem to learn quicker than I do, some of these new faces out here. But, learned what I could every year and been in the game for, I think this is my 5th year. And, every year went a little bit better, and now I get to have some shit that I didn't have before, and I'm a little more comfortable than I used to be before, and I'm thankful for that. So I don't know, that's the story. I'm sure I could get more into it if I really wanted to, but maybe I don't want to.
That's
Um,
okay.
That's completely
but
fine.
yeah, that's pretty much all. I don't know,
That's
not too
So,
cool.
interesting.
so
That's
you're a
cool though.
young guy, moved to Puerto Rico.
I am. I always say I'm a young baller, and I think I got about 2-3 years left of that before I got to knock it off. But I'm gonna make it count while I can.
Yes. Are you still in LA or you left?
No,
Yeah, in
I
Puerto
left.
Rico.
So yeah, I was going to school there. I was just sort of working there, doing a little bit of this and that, and I was out there for a few different reasons. And then when I started trading, I learned about taxes, and
Oh yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so that's sort of, because I was a cash business up until then, and I. I don't know. I just, like, I manifested it. Like, I could tell. I remember I was chilling. Like, I'd be, what I was doing to make money was sort of like I had some downtime, and then I'd be busy, and then I'd have some downtime. So I was sort of like, no matter what I was doing in my life, I felt like I was always on call. So I had
Yeah.
time to like I just started reading books, like funny shit, like books by Warren Buffett, and just like the exact wrong kind of shit I should have been doing my time. I mean, not books by Warren Buffett, but books about, like The Intelligent
Like bios.
Investor, and sort of stuff in that realm.
Yeah.
And then because I just got really into stocks, it was attractive to me that, like, nobody needed to give a shit about who you were, or like, because I was never good at getting hired or like having people think I was, smart, or like I feel like I'm not a genius, but I'm smarter than people think I am. Usually when people meet me, I mean, they do now. They tend to give me the benefit of the doubt more now, but that's because a lot of people who meet me know who I am, or maybe
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
dressed a little bit better. I don't know, but yeah, like, so So that was always really cool to me. I was like, there's nobody that's going to lock me out of this game. I can do whatever I want, you know? And then you know, as long as I'm good, I don't like nobody else has to agree with me. I get paid, you know, which is pretty cool. Like it's not even, you don't even have to sell. Like most businesses, even if you have a good product, you got to go and then sell it, and somebody has to like you, or at least you got to have sales guys, and you know that's not easy when you don't have a lot of money up front. So, so that was really cool. And then I started looking at you know, the types of companies that I was supposed to be buying, and I said, well, dude, I got 10 grand. What am I going to do? Like it wasn't going to help me. So then that's sort of how I found penny stocks. And I was like, no shit, you know?
And you found your calling.
Yeah. And the first, you know, people talk a lot of shit about this guy, but when I typed in penny stocks, first guy I found was Tim Sykes, obviously. That was this was like 2015. So nobody even really,
he's like the first guy that comes up.
Yeah, you know, and I never signed up for his service. I couldn't afford it at the time, but like, you know, I'm happy that the guy was out there. You know, people say he's a douchebag or whatever, but he was out there with his fucking gold Rolex, and like, I was like, nice, dude. So there's money in this, and you know, so and then weirdly enough, I didn't even end up like he was mostly pushing, you know, Nasdaq stocks and that kind of business, and I ended up in OTC because that was the real penny stocks, and
then
I remember.
You.
What's that?
Come on, then he followed you.
I don't know if he follows me. That'd be pretty cool.
Baller was first.
Now here I am giving him a big plug on the show, but yeah, you know,
You're not
so
the
that was
first,
cool. You know, people
or
talk shit, but at least that guy showed me like I didn't have to sign up for anything, and you know, I mean, I didn't really give a shit about what he was doing, but I was just like, you know what, maybe I can do this. The situation I came from, I didn't know anybody who traded OTC or anybody. So it was sort of like everybody thought I was like some kind of crackhead. Like I was telling my friends, like, yo, I'm gonna be rich, dude. Like I'm gonna be rich off penny stocks, like out at the bar and shit in my hometown. And they would just be like, okay, dude, yeah, you know, because I was always sort of that guy. Like I was always sort of that crazy friend who had some crazy idea about how we were all going to get rich and not have any problems anymore. And so
look at you.
So it was like, but it was like boy who cried wolf shit, because they were like, all right, dude, we heard this before, you know. But that just goes to show you keep shooting, you know.
Balla.
And like,
wait a second, man.
I gotta say something here on that. I literally went in the penny market 2 years ago. It was 2019, I believe. My buddy got me, and I found a stock. I thought it was God's given earth. I told all my friends back home. It was at like maybe a cent. I thought it was gonna be. It was called Fun at the time. It was AMP.
Yeah, I know it. The Amplites.
And it was like
AMPE
was
the ticker before.
Dave and Buster's kind of style, like restaurant with gaming.
Oh, I know it. AMFE was the old ticker, bro. I'm like
totally.
With this shit.
And I told everybody, and they laughed at me, and I ended up busting out 60K, dropped it as fast as I could, and I took a loss, and then I packed it in for 2 years. Everyone laughed at me, and then you know what? 2021 came, COVID came. I got back in the game. I buckled back up. I said, okay, don't make those same mistakes. And then I took 30K, did that, and no one listened to me before. And they're like, oh no, don't listen to my picks. And like you said, get back on the horse. It was good, but yeah, it was embarrassing. And now I don't tell anyone my stock picks.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's fucking awesome, bro. Like people don't know, because it's all well and good. Like, you know, you can hear you say it, and oh yeah, well that's sick, dude. But in reality, they don't know how that shit feels when you're like, it's
the
not
worst
working.
Time of my I was so sad because I had people buy in and they lost money, and it sucked. It took me for 2 years to get back on the horse, but I did this year, and I've gotten better. And even still in the last year, I took losses after losses. So, man, Balla, thank you. That's amazing. Again,
no, dude. Yeah, I mean, it's like I say, bro. Like nobody really is gonna know how it is until they go through it. But I know there's probably some people listening right now that story. You know, I hope that story, both of our stories, help them a lot. You know, and I don't even, you know, it's not even just stocks. You know, that's life, dude. Like, you know, like there's a lot of like, you know, it's not always easy, and nobody really gives a shit until they do, and then even when they do, they half of them are just hating on you anyway. So like that never ends, you know.
And a lot of these never ends. A lot of these people in the OTC, we're here for some are here for a lottery ticket, but a lot here see value. There's a lot of smart people in the OTC that see value, and you see a way out. because like
Yeah.
I quit a 6-figure job to do this, and I've made
Wow.
now a lot. But it's like just know what you're worth and keep going at it. Just put in the work. Put in the
Yeah.
4 hours a night
Yes.
studying.
Bala.
Yeah.
So I want to know how you started even trading OTCs. Like I know you said you kind of were reading about it and then you looked up penny stocks, but what made you go into that first trade and like that, register for the platform?
Lack of a better idea. Like, I don't know. I see, I'm the kind of guy, it's kind of like what we were just talking about. Like, I'm the kind of dude, I'm not like, oh, what might happen? I'm like, oh, this is going to work, you know? And that led me to do shit that like fucked up my life, like up until that point. But I just, yeah, I was just like, that first stock that I bought, I thought I was going to bank on it. Like, I never was like, oh, I'm going to lose money. Like, I never, and I remember I had worked, like, I mean, you know, I had my days in the sun, but like I had maybe 10K to my name when I went in the market, and you know, I lost, like, I burned half the account in like a week. So, but I was so ready. Like I was with it. Like I really thought it was all going to work. And up until to this day, and that's why people get on me like, oh, you're a pumper. And I'm like, dude, I love this stock. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I remember like the last time I was really hyped up on a stock was CGAC. Like that's like the last time I was real vocal about a stock. And I remember I went from like up 100 to like down 50 on it. And then people were adding me the next morning like, oh, you piece of shit. Like, you know, but that's just how I am. You know, I just like, I'm a positive dude, or maybe not even, maybe positive not the right word. I'm an intense dude, you know? So like when I'm in it, like I'm a degenerate. Like that doesn't mean I trade that way. I just mean like even when I get in a trade, I'm like, oh, I'm going to make so much money on this. And then like, maybe I change my mind and I only make, you know, $6,000 or something, but or nothing, or $500, or I lose money. But point being, like every single time I do any of this stuff, I'm real fired up about it. You know, I don't know. Like there's not, so that's, I mean, that's how I got into it. I just knew like what I was doing. Like, I mean, I had money coming in from, I've done a lot of stuff in my life to make money, but it just wasn't working for me for a variety of reasons. Like LA wasn't working for me in general. It's just not really my spot. And, it's an easy place for somebody sort of get lost, you know? And
Yes, it really is.
Oh, listen, we both completely understand. Christine is still there, and I used
I'm
to
still
live
here,
there.
yeah. So you know.
Yeah, it's where the degenerate is made.
It's called Lost
Yeah.
Angeles.
Los Angeles, yo, it's so true.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? And also, so a question that I had was, what else do you trade besides OTCs? Do you trade crypto, NFTs? What else?
Yeah, so
Futures? I don't know.
I do some Nasdaqs, as people probably know, and
Okay.
usually when I do something like that, I like, I don't know, it's just usually when I'm looking for a little more liquidity. Like it's easier for me to take a 6-figure bet on a Nasdaq, but what I like about them is they still have the like simplicity, like the IPOs and stuff like that. A lot of these small caps, like they have the same type of vibe. So I get it. I don't feel like I don't like to feel like I'm sitting at the adults table. You know, I don't know. Like it's intimidating to me. I'm just some guy. So like what I
Kids
like
table
about pennies
forever.
is I'm like, all right, what do you guys do? Oh, you're in crypto. Okay. I get it. What's the float? You know? All right. But it's not like 35 subsidiaries and, oh, this one's doing well, but that one's not. And a lot of guys would probably tell me, yeah, dude, but you know, it's not as complicated as you're making it. But I don't know. I just never got my head around the large caps. But and then I wouldn't say I trade crypto as much. I invest in it, and I invest in NFTs. And I know I kind of got a name as like the NFT guy in the OTC, but that's just because like early on I was, or one of them. But that's just because early on I was really like into it. And I remember when I was on the island, like I met a lot of guys early on that knew about NFTs. They were you know, like crypto guys. And so I learned about it, and this was before anybody even really called them NFTs. They call them like digital art, and I was like, oh, that shit's cool. Like I was into art. Um, the like this winter, I mean, I really like, it was like a full I don't know what you want to call it, like actualization of all the effort that I put in over the last few years. You know, so this winter I like hit it big basically, and because
Wow.
OTC was so good. And so basically I got paid for all the work that I put in. But then after that, I turned around and I was like, all right, you got all this inflation.
Mm-hmm.
I never had money before, really, not like that amount. And I was like, what do I do? Because I'm losing all this money every day with how much money they're printing. So that's when I started looking at, I did the usual stuff like the, luxury goods and that kind of shit. And then I was like, all right, well, I can't have too much in that. So I started looking at NFTs and I was like, yo, art's dope. I remember watching Wall Street, and which, by the way, anybody who hasn't seen that shit should watch it, because that's like a how-to manual on what's going on in the market. Not
What
saying you
movie?
should. Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Yeah. So yeah, Gordon Gekko is like the guy. That's like how the OTC works. I mean, not like what you should be involved in, but if you want to know why the level 2 looks the way it does, it's because there's guys out there like that. But anyway, he was the main guy in there, was like collecting art and shit, and I was like, okay, I'm starting to get this. And then like this is like the new age version of that, and I basically just YOLO'd like I don't know, like $80,000 or something
What?
like that initially.
Into
And
NFTs?
I was just like, I don't know if this is gonna catch or not. I don't really give a fuck. If I
That's
lose,
a
I
great
lose.
risk, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, I probably have more in other stuff, to be honest, like similar stuff. But and it worked. Like I had this one piece that the sell order went through on, and it was a 10x. So it went from that was like a quick, basically 100K hit.
Amazing.
And then the website, this is like weird blessings that happen in the universe. Like the website that I was buying all this art on with my buddy, like they did this, they did a tokenization where, and somebody else would be able to know more about this than me. But anyway, they basically just gifted you a bunch of coins based on how active you were and how much, collecting you'd done, and basically how big of a collector you were. So they gifted me another 45K or so.
Whoa.
And this all happened in 1 week. So I was sitting around all summer, and my buddies would be like, dude, how's that NFT shit looking? And I'd be like, I don't know, dude. I'm pretty sure I just took this money and threw it in the fireplace. But and then in 1 week, it was like, here's 135 grand. So now I have all this art that like on paper is worth a lot more. Like I'm not trying to sell it, but what it's selling for is worth a lot more. And it's all free. So,
Amazing.
Whoa.
So the lesson is you just pull the trigger
Mhm.
sometimes. I mean, if you got a little something on the sidelines that you don't, I mean, the way that I do it, I wouldn't say is like, I talk to smaller traders and they're like, oh, dude, that NFT shit's cool that you're doing. I'm like, yeah, it is. But like, I don't think I'm the guy you want to talk to. Like, I know guys who are and girls who are in, drop rooms, and they have a lot more like liquid type of shit that they're looking at. So for me, it's more just a store of value. I'll park it there, and then OTC is where I really make the real money. But
Bala, can you tell
Yeah.
us what platform you first got into NFTs on, and then which NFTs you did get? Because we're so curious.
Yeah, so the guy did really well on, his name is Hackatow. And it was, what I did right on that is that he was like a blue chip artist. So like he's the guy where, because I did some other stuff where I sort of would, go for smaller guys. And I don't know if that was such a good idea. I mean, I'm not big on paper, but that's the one that I've had actual success on. So Hackatow is his name. And he was like big, like most of his shit was like 100K when I was looking at it, or like 50K. And then there was one that came up for 10K and it was sort of simple. And I was like, just grabbed it, and then that was the one I 10X'd on. But the website I use is called Super Rare.
Oh, yeah, Super Rare, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's a better one. It's called OpenSea, and I think it's better because
we used OpenSea.
The commissions are a little bit lower. So
yes, this is so cool. I had no idea you did. Well,
surprise!
Now, yeah,
it's just a little side thing. I don't want to act like I'm sure some dude who's actually good at NFTs is listening and like, oh, this fucking clown. But
no,
anyway,
man, like
I just
well.
I YOLO'd some and it worked, and but I think it would have been hard not to work. I think the only thing I did right is I was early on the concept, but I wasn't necessarily good on the execution. Otherwise, I would have, with 80 grand, you should have made $1 million in the past 6 months. So.
I mean,
dude,
we're gonna say you did really damn well for
you
going
10x
to
on one piece of art.
Yes.
Come on now.
Yeah,
and you
well,
could just
like I
flip
say,
it.
blessings are funny. The universe works in mysterious ways, and I think if you YOLO it, especially with the way of the world today, and how much people really don't want to have cash. I think that if anybody does have some money on the sidelines, and you have some stuff that you think is interesting, like, take your shot. You never know what might happen. So
shoot your shot, guys.
That's right.
Shoot at NFTs.
Baller's ball.
All right. So, what was your most successful trade in, I guess, the OTC, and then I guess in crypto, we know, or the NFTs, we know what you've done really well on. But how about OTCs? What was your most successful trade?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, crypto I just got into like with any type of size. So like I did really, I don't know if anybody saw, but I posted the dip on crypto. I mean, fucking probably everybody else did too, but and then did really well in that. But not as well as anybody probably thinks. I didn't have that much in it. But anyway, that's crypto. OTC, oh man, I don't even know. I'd have to look at my so OTC, I want to make this clear. I'm not a 7-figure hit guy. Like I don't do that shit. I've made a lot of money in this game. I haven't made as much as probably the guys who are really good at doing that stuff and the girls who are really good at doing that stuff. But like I'll hit maybe 100K on something. I haven't hit it. I haven't. The reason I couldn't even remember because it's been so long. Like I don't really size like that. I haven't sized like that all summer. That's why it's funny when I see people saying, "Oh, I see you on the level 2." I'm like, "No, you don't, dude. I placed one buy order." Like, so, but I don't know. I mean, I remember like I had like PFNO was like that thing like went from 0.001 to a penny in one day and stuff like that. Like I probably made 100K in a day on that, um, but yeah, I don't know. Like that would probably be the most I ever made is maybe 100K, maybe 150 on a play over the course of. But then again, like if I'm scaling in and scaling out, I don't know. I mean, it'd be a lot more than that. So, but
I
just on
love
one
that.
hit, like I don't know. It's nothing crazy. But that's
I
just
love
kind of
it.
how I am. I don't know. I take my profit. I don't really know. Like I'm not. I don't know as many people as some of these other people do, So I don't know whether I'm supposed to hold. Like I don't know. And then the CEO's telling me like or telling my buddy some shit, and I don't really know if it's true. And like so I just and that's why people come in like, oh, what you don't. What happened to you on this ticker? I'm like, dude, it's not my company. I don't give a shit. Like yeah, they started diluting it. I sold. What do you
Oh my
want from me?
god.
Oh
So
my god.
so I don't really marry these companies as much as other people do, and people can say, "Oh, you're a flipper, whatever, dude. Come see how I live." Like if you want to say I'm a flipper, because like obviously you don't make really big money without like having conviction, So, but it's just like I
I
don't
love
know.
it.
I'm not one of these guys that can hold through swings and have my account swing like because I just don't know. Like I don't. Maybe there's a
Right.
split coming. Like I don't have the confidence these other guys have, and I don't know where they get it from. But I'm sure they do the research or whatever. But
I
you
love the
know.
honesty. I love
Yeah,
it.
me too.
I love that.
Oh, good. I'm sure some people didn't love that answer, but
It's
it is what it is. So
but that's your truth. That's all that matters.
yeah, well,
So,
that's me. And
hmm
that's the funny thing is my whole way of fucking with people on social media is just I just there's no filter. Like if you guys read my Twitter or whatever I'm saying, like it's honestly what I think. And that's so hilarious to me because I know everyone is trying to read between the lines. Like, what does he really mean by this? Like, what is? And I'm like, dude, that's why you're so confused. Is because like it's exactly what I meant. That's why I posted it. And people don't get that. That's not common for this game. So like there's a lot of maybe I shouldn't say that, but there's a lot of angles, and people aren't always necessarily saying exactly how they feel. So that'll
Exactly.
always be
I
my
love that.
aspiration.
Yeah, I love that you're honest. So, Nana, would you got you to be honest about your most successful trade? How about you tell us what's the biggest mistake you've had when trading, and what did you learn, sir?
Okay, biggest mistake is really easy. It's when I was in like earlier on. I remember I had my first big year. Probably made a few 100K, and like literally, I was living with my dad when I made all that money. So I put it basically all straight in my account. Like I don't know. I buy weed. Like I bought dime bags. That's pretty much all I did with the money. But other than that, it was all in my account. And I was all in all the time. And then this is gonna make me sound real old to some of these guys, but this is when this SEC shit that everyone is talking about constantly for the past like feels like 3 years of my life with the suspensions and they're going to change the rules and you all got to be pink current, all that drama. They first announced this that year, and I didn't really even know what it meant. And I had probably like I say, I had my whole net worth in the market, which was like mid to high six figures, probably 600-700K. And I would pull out like at the time what my overhead was for my life, which was like a few thousand a month. So I'd pull that out, and other than that, it was all in all the time. And then they made that announcement, and I had all my money in lottos. Like I always invest in lottos, like dark lottos. It was an investment. That's the way I looked at it. And the market was different back then, where you could really just buy a 52-week low. It wouldn't break down on you that much, and you just wait to get paid. So it was smart. And then this shit came out. They had their first announcement on their website, and I think I lost maybe 150, 200 grand in like 3-4 days. So, and that was, a third of my net worth. So it was, that shit sucked, and the mistakes that I made was not reacting with authority and conviction, and just like as soon as I read that PR, like, all right, I'm out, and just hit every bid. That's what I should have done. As soon as you get that feeling like, all right, this is not going to be good, people are going to spread fear on this and all that jazz, that's what I should have done. It's just bombed out. And then the second mistake that I made is not being liquid, and like fairly liquid, because anything you're in, I feel like you should either be green on it, or you should have like a real good reason to be in it, and just not have all this size just because you don't want to miss out, and that's what. So I had all this exposure, and like I think most people, if they look at their portfolios and they think about like, all right, I got a bag here, I got that there, and like on these bags, the market makers are just waiting for you to cut them anyway before, or worse, someone else's, the CEO's reading the Nobo list, and he's waiting for you to cut it, which some people probably won't even know what I mean by that. But anyway, on these bags, a lot of times you don't even really need them in there. They're holding you back, and so I think if most people look at their account and they really like have a heart to heart with themselves, they'll realize like, dude, half this risk I don't even give a shit about. Like, do you really want to own it? Is it something you really got to own? And looking back, a lot of that wasn't for me. So it's nice when it's in there, and maybe I'll get out of this bag. Maybe that one will run because my buddy told me to buy it, and I don't really know why I'm in it or whatever. And and that's all well and good until the market turns on you and it gets a little ugly, and then you're like, damn, that was real. Yep. Like that money was real, and it didn't feel real because I'm a degenerate, but it was, So
why is that the common word?
Those are my two biggest lessons, I guess. It's just like respect the catalyst, bomb out if you have to. You don't know anybody's shit but yourself, and don't have any more. Like, it's all well and good. Like when the market was ripping, the reason I did so well this winter is I always had 7 figures in the market. And that's from a guy who at that point in time was barely worth 7 figures, but, that's, I think that's a big reason why I did so well this winter. And, so it's like, it's not all bad having exposure. I just mean when you have it, make sure it's the shit you want, which is like obvious, but it's not really. You got to revisit it all the time, so.
Bala, I think you're kind of going into our next question too, but I don't know if you want to add to it because you've told us in detail about what you look for, but what do you say your trading strategy is? Like, I know there's so many.
I'm not even started.
Oh my God, Bala.
I'm not even started on that. Yeah, so I would say like you got your bet when it comes to a strategy. I know we're going to talk about scanners a little later on, but
yay.
But when it comes to a strategy, I wouldn't say you have one strategy. I'd say you have many, and you sort of got a bag of tricks. So like I got, I'll do some bullet points for you guys. I'll have a bunch of different types of trades, and usually that kind of runs into my scanning too. So this is a good lead into that. But so you might have like a bounce trade, right, where the market gets ahead of itself and the thing gets too low, and like it's going to bounce that day and it's going to be liquid. So it's not really even like a swing. And so that on that, I'd be looking for like fresh lows, and I can maybe play the bounce, and then who knows, maybe I can do some DD and figure out I got something, and I'll really try to ride it into a nice gain, or I just double my money or whatever, but, and that's the other thing is I think most people know this, like a lot of stuff I post on my feed, I never said it was a 10 bagger. Like, yeah, it's a better opportunity than you're going to find listening to these idiots on TV. So I don't feel like I'm such a bad, I guess I'm an asshole for that, but like, I'm sorry that I'm posting doubles on my feed all day long. But anyway, so, sometimes maybe I take 100% profit. I don't know. If that makes me a bad guy, then so be it. But So anyway, I might look at a bounce play. I might look at I post a lot about, not so much this time of year, but I used to post a lot about breakout trades. So that'd be like another kind of trade I'd look for, is like, is this thing retesting a critical resistance? Is the market really hot right now? And like, because you used to see this more often. I mean, you still will sometimes, but you'll see a thing, say the resistance is 2 cents and you're chasing. I mean, the bottom will get loaded at, a penny, and then you're looking at an opportunity and it's 2 cents, but the thing's just a beast, and you buy that second breakout through the same resistance, and all of a sudden it's at 3 cents by the end of the day. So that's what I was doing. My buddy Connor taught me more about that, but like that's what I was doing. All winter is. You take something like that with size, and if it doesn't work out, you bomb out. I mean, like I said, you don't know anybody's shit. So, but if you take it with size, all of a sudden you're at 50% on 20, 30 grand, and that's pretty special. So, that's another kind of trade. So you got the bounce, which is like your risk comes from the fact that the thing is so beat up and it's probably going to go lower, and then you got the breakout that comes from the fact that like everybody front loaded on you, and like the only reason they don't want to sell is because the stock's so strong, and so that's another kind of trade. And then you got another big kind of trade in my strategy is catalyst driven, which I kind of missed lately because it's been kind of a joke all summer, but like I'll sit there with news scanners and I'm just really good at telling what's big. Like I just know what people like. I've been watching that for a long time. So people like, oh, well, they like buybacks, or they like mergers, or they like whatever. And then sometimes they like stuff more lately, like it'll be more of a sympathy thing. Like, oh, remember that one ran huge and that was a buyback or whatever. So you pay attention to that, so you can have news centered stuff. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Like I guess there's bounce plays that are more like swings, so I'm looking at it to confirm a bottom. I get the idea from the chart, and then I watch the level 2 to give me like more conviction on it, and I'll see like if it's at a critical area, and you see somebody come in and just smoke the seller, like that's the bottom. They just made it the bottom, so that's a good strategy. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of just a stream of consciousness when you're talking to me, as well as when I'm trading. So, I apologize for that in advance.
No, it's fine. No.
So yeah, but I think those are a few good ways that I trade, and I think if you had those nailed down, you're making, if you're really good at it, you're making 7 figures, no problem. Just those 3 strategies. So
yeah, I play breakouts and reversals too. So
yeah,
I feel you. But we talking about breakouts and reversals, which means, do you use any indicators?
Oh
Do you
yeah,
use
yeah.
any
So
indicators?
TA, I'm real simple on. I'll put some on there sometimes. Like I'll put some moving averages and stuff, just if I'm trying to get a different look on my chart. Most stuff is intuitive for me, so I like really don't even know what I'm doing. I couldn't explain it to somebody else. I'm just like, dude, I like that look. I don't know. But in terms of indicators, the one everybody should have in OTC, in my opinion, is VWAP.
Yes.
That I use constantly. I use it for almost every single trade that I make, and I don't use it the way that like a small cap day trader would use it, like as a support and resistance. I just use it like informationally. So like if I see a big old candle, like let's say you pull up some news and you're like, all right, this news is nice, dude. I want in this. And then you see, all right, once you get used to looking at charts like me, within like the time that it takes me to read the PR, I'm also looking at the chart and I'm like, yep, that's the front load. I can see the candle in 2 seconds. I'm like, yep, that's where all you dudes that's where everybody got in. And all these burner accounts on iHub, that's who they're posting
Oh my
for, is
God.
that candle, you know? So, and that's where the VWAP is nice, is you can say, all right, well, yeah, because, yeah, they painted it like a 60% range that day, but in reality, they all loaded it around 2 cents, and then you can say, all right, so, me, Mr. Joe Jerkoff over here, I didn't get in when they got in because, I'm Joe Jerkoff, but like I got in at 2.5. Okay, I can stomach that risk, granted how good this news is. I know they're probably going to take their profit here. And you might say it's 1,000%. You might say it's 100. I don't give a shit. That's about your trading strategy and, your risk tolerance and whatever. But point being, I'm looking at it as like, I'm trying to gauge the front load and where it happened. And then, or it could be a churn too, But what I like about VWAP is that you can't just paint the candles, you know, and that's why I'm not into, like, when it comes to OTC, I'm not into a lot of stuff that's calculated on the open and close price unless it's super liquid, because I know what guys do to those, you know. So and it's like, if you want to manipulate the VWAP, you can do it. You're doing something a lot sketchier. Like, you're gonna, you know, you're gonna have more problems than just getting kicked off your broker if you manipulate the VWAP. You know, you're gonna have problems with other people. So I just figure, like, all right, there's probably less fuckery going on with that indicator, so I prefer to use that. And other than that, I mean, you look at a chart, you got supports and resistances. Like, before, I think 90% of people probably listening to this right now, like, maybe not 90%, that might be a little insulting, but a lot of people listening and really hanging on the answer right now, they probably, like, they must just they should probably look at supports and resistances first, would be what I would say, because a lot of people don't even know what that is. And it's like, dude, if you learn that, you're gonna make so much money already. You don't need all this shit, you know. You really don't need it. And you know, and again, just to emphasize, this is for OTC and for like fairly illiquid OTCs, you know. So if you're looking at something else, fine. That's never been my bread and butter. So so yeah, but other than that, I mean, I don't know. Let me make sure I'm not forgetting anything. I'm looking at my chart right now. I'm in my office. That's all I have up. I mean, I'll throw on like EMA or SMA sometimes. I don't know. Hopefully, somebody can teach me more to use someday. That's my answer. You know, I'll
And
meet
then,
some really rich guy who'll teach me something. But
yeah, and we can always, right? I mean, like, you know so much, and then like you learn more, and it's just always learning is great.
that's what's so dope. Is like, it's just it's like I said at the very beginning of the interview. It's an outlet, and I know, like, if anybody out there is listening, like, if you're doing well already, just come holler at your boy. But if you're not, you're probably not gonna. And like, I know, like, if you're lost, like, even if you don't go for this, just know, like, it's out there. There's something out there. It's not what you're doing right now, and, like, you know, do what you got to do. Keep living, but, like, you know, there's shit out there where you really can feel like, dude, I could do this the rest of my life, never learn all of it, and everything that I do learn, I get rewarded for, you know. And like,
Yes.
that's so beautiful, you know, because I
Yes.
spent so much time in my life, like, hustling and hustling and hustling and not getting shit
Absolutely.
for it, you know. So
I
I know
love
how that
this, by the way. I just want to tell you, I love this interview, and you're super real and awesome. And this is,
You're not alone, Christine.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is the first time.
I'm fanboying
Yeah,
right
well,
now.
Me
I'm
too.
glad.
Matt is in
I'm
the
really happy to
background.
hear that.
Matt
You
is in
know, a
the
lot of people
background for
told me,
me.
I got all these texts before the interview, and they said good luck to me, and I was like, yeah, I'm a little off on what do I need luck for? Like, it kind of threw me off. So anyway,
They're
I'm
like, good
happy
luck.
to
The
come on.
OTC club is ruthless, but
Like,
it's so
yeah.
I
funny.
know, I know. I didn't know you guys were so major, but I guess I gotta
Aw.
read up.
We're
You know?
major. You heard
Aw.
that first from Stockballer.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
OTC Club is major.
Yeah. We recorded it, so he can't take it back.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
That'll be
Bala,
worth a lot of
so
money someday. Make sure you hang on to it.
yeah, it's an NFT now.
NFT it for
We have
sure. We're NFT it for sure.
Bala, so I have to ask you this question because Doll loves asking everyone this, so I'm gonna ask it for
Yeah.
her. Do you do anything to prep for, like, the market with music? Like, what music do you listen
Music,
to, or
baby.
do you not
Music.
listen to music?
Yeah, so I post my music as all the time, as you guys know, and you know, maybe people, like, don't really care for the shit I post, but it's what I grew up on, and it's what keeps me going all the time. So you know, but yeah, I'm real into music. It's always been my thing. I always been a hustler. I always had a soundtrack to my life. I used to go to high school with, you know, my fucking. Now this was after iPods, but I was just super janky and hood anyway. But I would go
Janky.
with my what do you call it,
A
the
Walkman?
Walkman
I'm just
Walkman.
kidding.
with the CD, and I'd fit that shit in my pocket. And
Yeah.
but I'd have Jeezy on the Walkman, and like, that's why I'm always
Yeah.
posting Jeezy, is because I came up on that shit. But anyway,
Nice.
but yeah, so in the mornings I usually I'm up early, just as a habit. I just think successful people wake up early, and like, I didn't always do that when
Damn
I was
it.
younger.
I'm
So
just
like, you know, but yeah, so you know, that's my number one thing. And then I usually try to get a workout in. First thing I do is always read filings, like, get my brain on it, have a giant cup of coffee. uh, my prized possession is my coffee machine.
nice.
Anyone who has coffee at my house enjoys it, I will tell you that. But
Nice.
so I have a giant cup of coffee. um, get a lift in, make sure I do the DD. I don't want to miss any catalysts. I mean, I very rarely buy shit out of the gate anymore. Whereas I used to have something in the morning where, and that market it's coming back soon, by the way. But, I used to be able to be like, oh, I'm going to smoke that and I'm going to smoke that and I'm going to sell that and ride that one and see what happens,
Okay.
and then you already know you're going to be up X amount, by 9:45 or whatever.
So are we talking about
you know,
tickers? We're talking about tickers, right?
yes, yeah. I mean, if you didn't notice, I smoke a lot of weed too, but no, I mean, I use them interchangeably. I see something I want to smoke it. I don't know, but yeah. So anyway, so I'll do that, and like sometimes I got Nasdaqs on, but usually Nasdaqs, if I'm trading them, I always have a plan. So like I know if I got to be around in the morning, and if I don't, I'm not. But and then come back. I mean, you guys probably know this about me. I'm more of like I'm less of a lifestyle trader, and I'm more of a grinder. So like I'm here, like I never leave. Like I work eight hours a day at least usually. And it's funny because I'll tell my trader friends that, and they'll be like, "Dude, you got to chill out and play some golf, bro." And then I'll tell like my normal friends that, and they'll be like, "Wow, you got it good," So that's when I realized like, it's not all like it's just what I got to do. I don't know. I'm not like smart like a lot of these people, so I got to show up. That's what I got to do.
You are
And,
smart.
no, but I mean,
What?
there's people they trade for 2 hours a day. They make more money than me, and that's an IQ test right there in and of itself. Like you can talk all the shit you want, and that's why I always talk shit to the people who talk shit to me. Is because like I know their P&L doesn't look like mine, so it's like, all right, dude, I'm an idiot. All these companies suck. Fine, dude, fine. But the proof's in the pudding, and I know a lot of people have better pudding than me, and they don't really like they make that shit 2 hours a day, So, but it is what it is. Like we all like. It's better than the alternative, and that's all it is. That's one of my favorite sayings. It's better than some, not as bad as others.
You heard
I
stock
like
baller,
that.
he make pudding.
I'm not gonna lie, like Bala, you are literally one of the coolest people I've ever talked
Much
to.
love,
really
bro.
cool.
Wait, I mean,
Like
really
I'm
cool.
not even lying. I'm
cool for the
fanboying
time
right now.
being.
I told my
Matt is
OTC club. I already
fanboying.
DM'd them, and I literally have been the only person that I've asked for my follow was you,
Oh,
and I'm not even lying. I can put my pride in my pocket. You are legit. In hearing you talk, man, much respect, and it shows why you got over 500 people show up tonight. Good for you, man. I love
hey
it,
Matt.
and I can't wait to ask my
Matt, you can
questions.
ask
Nah,
your
I
question.
appreciate it, brother.
Just give it a second,
Much
Matt.
love, dude.
Just give it a second, and you can
All
ask
right,
it.
do I get the mic?
Don't wait.
Okay.
Wait a second. You're
All right.
exploding over there. So stock
Might as
baller.
well
Last
segue into
question
it.
before we get to Matt.
Ball up.
Before we get to Matt's
Okay.
question, what advice do you have for new traders? And then we can get to Matt.
Like I guess I mean this is gonna sound like a cliche, and if you're new, just write it down because you'll understand it more after you get a little deeper in the game. But like, just like learn to be self-sufficient. Like people are gonna come in OTC, especially when you get a little money, and like they're gonna act like they're your friend. And people have stock for sale. Like it's OTC, it's over the counter. People are selling stock. Like it's not. There's no central exchange. If you buy shares, you might be buying shares from another motherfucker. So that's one thing like that I did right is that I like learned how to do the scanner shit, and all that stuff to where like I could find trades. Like I have buddies who are rich and like they help me make money, and like they bring me ideas. But like everybody who sends me an idea, I'm looking at it. Like you got to check and make sure that the merchandise is good, So, but it's so that would just be like and it's a super broad, super cliche. Almost everyone is going to say that to you, but like it's true. Like you got to learn to be self-sufficient. Go out, network, meet people, do all that stuff, get on social, but just be careful because like there's and a lot of people are really good at what they do, so you just got to be very, you got to hustle and just know that people are trying to hustle you, that's the game, that's life. So that's my best advice. And then other than that, it'd be like, if you have an individual question, send me a DM. Maybe if I'm in a good mood, like I'll be going through my DMs that day or whatever. But You know, other than that, I mean, broad strokes, that's the best thing I can say is just be self-sufficient, you know?
I'll follow up with that. Perfect segue is when people message me, I I tell them to follow good traders, and some of them, and the main one I say is honestly you, stockballer. When you alert something, I tell people there's how do you find all your picks? How do you find these gems? I don't find them myself all the time. When the market was slow in March, yes, I was going through OTC markets, screeners, looking for share structures, but I look for guys like you and others that alert something at low dubs, trips, and then I DD it. Like you said, DD it, find your conviction, find what's up. Because you are so good at finding something with a setup, a chart, fundamentals, and then after that, it's us to figure out the rest, which I preach to everybody.
Right.
You have to put your DD in, or else you will never know. Yes, we can all hit 100 percenters, and like you said, stock, you're going to hit every single one of your plays will hit 100%. But
I'm not sure about that. There's some people who might
well,
disagree with you
most
on
of
that.
them, anyway, most of them. But at the end of the day, is for me is what I try to teach my followers, and I answer all my DMs. I do calls a day. Is build the conviction because and ask yourself, what do you want? You want 100%, 200%? If that's your goal, then take your profits. But for some people, you have to understand is that you want more than that sometimes.
Right.
So do your DD and go from there. But at the end of the day, is you'll give them the setups, you'll do all that, and man, it's crazy.
Yeah, but
So
I couldn't agree more, bro. You got to use your dogs as scanners, you know, and I remember
yeah,
even when I was I forgot to mention this before, like part of the way that I learned how to trade, like I learned to set the scanners up is from reverse engineering shit. And back then, Twitter wasn't even this way. It wasn't so transparent. You know, it wasn't like it was a bunch of pumpers. Actually, it wasn't even Twitter. It was iHub back then. This is where I was on. And I would follow these
and
pumpers, but I would reverse engineer it to where I was like, all right, you're tweeting now. It probably means you want to sell your shares. But
dude,
let me look at the chart.
100%.
You know, and let me look at the chart and figure out where you guys actually got in. And that was me being a little savvier. You know, you can't take everything at face value out here. That's another thing.
No,
You know,
and you definitely can on Twitter.
yeah.
Like I told others is like you can take my word and my strategy to where it is. But for me, I didn't join Twitter till November.
Yeah.
My first wealth that gave me a foot on the stone was ENZC and TSMP. I was on iHub and I found both those sub penny.
Right.
And that's what made my first wealth that's now escalated into more.
Yeah.
But going on Twitter, I tell people it's all bias, guys. You have to start from the negative and work your way back.
Yeah,
So
and it's the same shit. It's a scanner. You know, it's like, are you gonna? If I set up a scanner, am I gonna buy every ticker that comes across it? No, that's not how scanners work. You know, and it's the same shit. Like, are you gonna buy every like? And it's like I even have buddies who I trust and I love them, and they're the best traders, and they're you know they always they can sniff shit out. But still, I can't just go and buy everything they send me. What kind of trader would I be if I did that? You know.
Like you said too, is like so same with me. I get tickers thrown at me, close traders, good friends. You have to go and do it your DD yourself, and also you have to portfolio management.
Yeah.
Like I don't need 80 tickers in my
Right.
in my portfolio.
Right.
So I go heavy on ones that I want. I won't buy into a ticker unless I can get almost 8 figures in shares. That's just me. But going back to my question, man, appreciate everything you do, man. It shows with all the people here. Really respectful for you. Love it. You have to give me a follow up to this, by the way. I am gonna pump that. I'm gonna plug myself.
I already did, actually. I just did.
Nice.
No,
Way to
I
corner
felt
him.
bad, dude.
Your
I felt
attitude
bad.
towards the
I
market,
want to show
man.
you some love.
Your realness, your attitude towards the market, I must say, man, it's unconditional. Hearing you now, your voice is super cool. I have nothing to hold back about, man. I love it. I'm truly actually look forward to. Hey, girls, don't you be laughing, man. I'm a fanboy. I told you I was a fanboy of this guy.
Nah, much love, dude.
Like,
You know, to be
please
honest,
follow
like
my
I said,
girlfriend's getting jealous. She's making lamb or rack for us right now.
Oh my god.
Rack of lamb, sorry. But appreciate it, stock. I'll let the others talk.
yeah,
but
brother. Let me
you're
just
humble.
say that I'm sure, like a guy like you, to be honest, is like probably done more with the time you've been in the market than a dude like me. You know, I mean, it was a slow. It was it was a humble little slow hustle for me. You know, it was a long haul. So
Yeah.
don't sell yourself
But
short, dude. You know.
no, no, by no means I can, because in the OTC, what I kind of portray on my Twitter feed is you can be humble, but you got to be confident.
Oh,
You got to
fuck
hold
yeah.
yourself.
I got a massive ego, dude.
I've had nothing but death threats, nothing but people take me
She's
down.
pregnant.
But I did turn 30K into almost 8 figures soon,
Well,
so
there you go,
I'm
dude.
gonna make it happen.
There you go. You're doing more than me already, bro. I'm with it.
All
I'm with it.
right.
But I'm still,
Congratulations, man.
yeah.
Thank you, Matt, so much for
Love you
answering these
guys. Thank you.
questions. Thank you, Matt, for fanboying out. All right,
It's an honor, bro.
Rue, you got any questions? Where is he?
Uh, yeah, man. Bala, dude, you as real as they come. Like for real, just off of this one conversation, we can just tell your vibe.
Appreciate it,
Um,
bro.
and honestly, I should say fuck stocks, and you should just be a comedian because you funny as shit too. But nah, dude, I actually started following you through shitcoins, ironically, and I think it was like one coin that did ridiculous amount of percentage, and I was like, God damn, this dude got to the shit early, and I was like, oh, I got to follow this guy so I can catch the next one. And then I actually followed you and started learning a lot from you, just by watching your plays and just observing and things like that. Because I think you were one of my earlier followers when cause I just started trading this year, I think in February. I think I followed you
Nice.
probably in like March or whatever. But
Nice.
yeah, man, you're a great dude. And the girls normally ask pretty much most of the great questions. And key thing for me, really, what I want to learn from you is how do you learn about your plays early? And I mean, I utilize the same method with making sure, because what I do is what's important to me is mainly industries and what's hot or like what are people anticipating to have volume in next. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Okay. Yeah, that's hard, dude. Like the industry shit, I'm not as good at. Like that's like you're gonna have to talk to somebody like smarter than me. But like the all right. So the way I find the plays early, like I'll tell you what they like next because I see what they're buying now. You know, and that's how it goes. Like they're gonna tell you it's great. You know why? Because if I owned as much as they do, I'd be telling you it's great too. You know, so. And it's like I don't even hate on the hustle, dude. Like you guys own so much stock, I would be that hyped on the stock too. And that's like, by the way, a lot of this shit when you hear me talk about this, you're gonna be like, oh, OTC, wow, that's shady as fuck. That's not it. It's how markets work. Like you turn on NBC, it's the same shit. Those people are the biggest pumpers in the universe. But like anything you see that dude Jim Cramer tell you to buy, don't buy it. Sell it. Like it's like somebody loaded up and told him to post that shit, or told him to
dude,
told him to say that shit on his feed.
yep,
But anyway, so what I use I'm gonna tell you guys straight up right now what my scanner settings are. Okay.
Oh, yes. This
And
is
that's
what
how I find my plays. Like if you just run scanners all the time, you're gonna start to develop intuition, and intuition is where it comes from. Where you're like, dude, them boys up to something. Like they're up to it. I can tell they're up to some shit right now.
Mhm.
That's where the ideas come from. Is like I can tell they're planning something. But the way I get it is, so I used to use E-Trade Pro, but they got rid of it. I think. I know they like phased people out, so
Mhm.
maybe people who are really special have it or something. But anyway, so I'll do like if you get there's a new program. It's called Trade Ideas.
Yes.
So that's basically like the E-Trade Pro software. Not a lot of people know this, but like anybody who's been out of a scanner since E-Trade Pro got rid of theirs, just use Trade Ideas. It's the same shit. So, um, so yeah, I'll use that. I use like for volume, I'll do it's called high relative volume, and there's a ratio you have to put in. The higher the ratio you put in, the less sensitive it's going to be. So if you put in 10, it's going to have a big, like a large, like very high relative volume to hit the scanner. If you put in 1, it's going to have barely anything. Basically, when it prints, you're going to see it. So I have it set usually like 2. And the reason for that is because I like drinking out of the fire hose. Like I want as much to go through and comb through as possible, and that allows me to do my let my intuition do its thing. So So that's what I'll have. It's called high relative volume, and I set it to like, sometimes I'll set it to 1. It depends on, you know, how the market is, and you know, you can sort of tweak these things to where if you're getting too many outputs and you're getting distracted, you make them a little less sensitive. And then if you're getting you know, if you start missing plays and they're not hitting your scanner, you make it more sensitive. And you can constantly tweak and fine tune that depending on how, you know, how the market is in general. And then you want to use what's called filters, which is like, a filter is basically you take those outputs from the scanner and you sort them. So like, I'll make sure it's in my price range with my exchange and you know, OTC and all that, and then I start getting the tickers that I want to see. You know, so look, bro, if you end up not being able to figure it out, just send me a message. Anybody, you know, send me a message.
Sure.
If I get enough of them, I'll just post a screenshot or I'll do something. I mean, if I wasn't so fucking lazy on the weekends, I would have already done this. But yeah. So yeah, I'll use that, and then I use like block trades. And block trades are just basically where the scanner's looking for a certain size transaction. It could be a sell or a buy. So it's not bullish, you know, in and of itself, but it's something's happening, at least. So you probably want to be watching it. So block trades, the only thing is, depending on the price, obviously one size will be like a 1,000,000 share block trade in a 0001 stock is not that important, but in a 2-cent stock, that's a pretty big transaction. So, so you can sort of put that, like I'll filter different size blocks depending on the price range, if that makes sense. And then, you know, if it's, like I said, you can always be tweaking it. You could look at, all right, well, I don't want that. Once you figure it, once you start playing with a scanner, it's like your own little sandbox. Like, you do whatever the hell you want with it. Once you understand like what makes it tick, and all right, that's how filters work, that's how alerts work. All of a sudden, you don't got to listen to me. I'm just some guy from the internet. You can do it yourself, and you have the tools that you need, you know, to really get the information you want. So, but yeah, that's generally where my ideas come from. Is I'll see something hit my scanner, you know, maybe it's once, maybe it's all day long, and I say, you know what? Like, I'll see a big block go off, and I'll say, you know what? I don't know why. That's just like, it sort of triggers my intuition, you know, and then that's when I get into it. So, yeah, I mean, that's how I find my ideas. I'm sure there'd be some way to do that. I think it'd be more like chart setups for larger cap type stuff. But for OTC, a lot of it is like, the scanners are coming sort of from the level 2. You know, that's what a block would be on. It's level 2. And you know, you go from there. So I don't know. I know that was sort of like verbal diarrhea, but I hope it helped.
No,
You know?
I love
that was
that
some,
information.
man, that was good
That's what
diarrhea,
I
man.
was
I appreciate it.
That's what you call good diarrhea.
Right. It's like after you go to like after you hit Chipotle or like
Oh
some
my God.
real bomb shit, you know?
Hey, don't talk about Taco Bell.
All righty.
Okay,
All right.
my turn. So do
No, I'm
you
hood
have
rich. I go to Taco Bell like once a week, you know? Like,
Oh man.
I'm not talking
Well,
shit.
we
I
gotta
love Taco Bell.
Fry Supreme. Fry Supreme.
All of it.
Oh, I
All
love
of it.
Supreme. Okay, my question next. Okay, so do you have like mentorships or anything, or like Discord groups, anything like that we could be
Yeah,
in?
I mean, I got a room. I like help people. Like, I know, like, I got a lot of guys who would probably say, like, I don't know, like they would say like I help them become millionaires and whatever, but I don't charge for it. I don't really give a shit. And like, if
What?
I like, if I decided to help somebody, it's because I think they're motivated, and like, I think they you know, they deserve it. And to be honest, I think they're going to grow into an asset, and they're going to turn around and help me, because that's
Yeah.
business. So if that makes me an asshole, then so be it. But like,
How do
yeah,
we
you know
get
what?
it?
I'm not charging $50 a month. I don't have anything like that. Maybe I will someday. I'm not talking shit about people that do. I just like already have plenty of money. Like, I don't know what to do with all this money. Like, I
Right.
don't really need to have another business to like have more money. I really don't give a shit. So like,
How
you
do
know,
we get
but
in your room?
I'll post an invite link. I don't know. Like, it's, you know, we just kick it in there. It's not like I post a lot of the same shit on Twitter. The room is like, I had the room for a couple years, and then I was down in Miami with some goons that I
with your
knew from the
Goonies.
room from way back, and like we were all getting drunk, and I was like, dude, I just had a moment of inspiration. Like, I'm reopening the room. So I
Can we all
reopened it.
come in?
It's nothing major. You guys can come in. Don't expect anything. Same, you know,
Cool.
same as everything. Like, I'm always, it's like I always underdeliver because I'm too busy trading. That's
That's
how it
okay.
actually tends to
We're
go
all
at the
gonna
end
Okay,
of
come
the
into the room now. Thank you for the
guys,
invite.
this isn't fair. Like I'm literally like having stopped smiling.
Oh my
Like
God, Matt.
I've literally been. I'm not even like my pride. I have no ego. Like I'm
Oh
fucking
my God,
absolute. Like
Matt.
if you talked about celebrities and like stock baller, you are literally so legit. And my girlfriend's
Please
kicking
sign
me.
his
She's
book.
No,
making
I feel you
dinner.
though.
I don't
Matt,
Carlos, I
care. I
feel
have
you.
no
They cool,
listen,
man.
embarrassment.
the
I
stock
They
don't
do.
baller
care.
just signed his chest right now. He's just gonna rip his shirt off. He just signed his chest.
No,
And he's
no.
Ruth
It's
said
like
Ruth said
he's
he's
like
fanboying
he's
too.
just
Nah,
like
he's a
me.
cool dude,
just
He's like
man.
like
he's not gonna
him.
charge. He's like no fuck you attitude. It's like I will win. I'll make money. I'll do this. It's just fucking super cool.
I'm with it, dude. Much
Matt,
love, bro.
you
I
listen.
appreciate it.
You
I'm
Hey,
humble.
listen.
hit me up on DM. I'm coming to Puerto Rico. I'll see you
Oh
Hey,
my
there.
come
God.
on
I'm
down.
flying
Come
next
on
week.
down. Anybody come holler. Anybody come holler, dude. Like,
You got me now. I'm in your DM. I sent you like
Listen, a
18.
Puerto
He
Rico.
sent you 18 messages.
Alrighty, you
all right.
guys.
Well, I'll read the first one. That's what I will
I won't
guarantee.
bring my girl. I will. Yeah.
Let's bring this
Okay,
thing to the
Dolph.
Me and
audience
my
now.
girlfriend coming. We're
Christine, are you
coming.
gonna
All
do
right.
a stock baller tattoo on
Yeah.
Matt?
Okay,
Come
you
on down. Yo,
Stockballer, you
that
sign
already, that's already
you
taken. My
sign
boy,
West
yo,
Coast
shout
Cruisers
out to
boot.
my boy 7 ounce. Shout out to my boy Edgar. He's already got the stock baller tattoo. So nobody go
What?
out and try to do
Oh
that first. And
man.
my
Oh
boy's rich too.
wow.
So don't think he's like a little nobody. Like he's fucking rich and he got the tattoo. So I
So
was honored by
Matt
that.
is
Shout out
next.
Edgar.
I'm just
I
telling
love you,
you.
brother.
You go ahead and sign Matt's
Christine's
chest.
doing my first tattoo. Christine's doing my
All
Yes,
right.
he's
Well,
first
getting
don't
his
get
tattoo.
first
stock
tattoo.
baller, dude. Don't get it.
Get
Don't get it. Trust
listen,
me. You'll
stock
regret
baller.
that later. Edgar
I'm
won't,
getting
but
a
you will.
piece of my dog.
Alrighty, hey PB, how you doing? Go ahead and ask stock baller a
Hey
question.
everyone, what's up, guys? Hey Bala,
Hey, brother.
What's up,
what's up?
What's up,
PB?
dude?
Hey, so I just wanted to just point this out. So about a year ago, we've been trading for about probably 5 months. My dad, he saw your alert on WDLF. It was probably like trips like 0004 or something like that.
I remember it was like I remember that like it was yesterday.
Yeah, and
It
then
was
he
a good
bought
one.
like 5 million shares, I think, and then he ended up making like 1,700%, like 30K almost. So just like thank you for that. Then he actually ended up DMing you, and then you guys started talking. It was probably a long time ago, but yeah, just like pointing that out. Thanks, man.
No, that's dope, dude. That's dope. Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure. I mean, don't come and holler at me when one goes down. I hesitate to say you're welcome because next time I call a bad one, I'm gonna be the asshole. But
Hey, 1,700%. We'll take that. I mean,
all right. So
thank.
the next minus 50, you got me right.
Yeah. Of course.
all
I'll send the screenshot proof to whoever that hater.
right. All right.
I don't know if you know stock baller, but PB is 14, right? You 14, no birthday yet, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I seen your profile, bro. I just gave you a follow today, actually.
Yeah, I saw that. Thank you. I was geeked.
I wish that I started when I was your age. I'd be a lot wealthier. So good
Mm-hmm.
on you.
Thank you. Actually, when I first started trading, you replied to my DMs. You answered some of my questions about your scanners and stuff like that. It was a long
Nice,
time
nice.
ago.
I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you. Thanks,
You're
everyone.
welcome.
PB.
You're
PB, you're
welcome.
like, it was a long time ago when I was 10.
All right, thank you,
Boy
PB.
starts
Thanks,
early.
guys.
You can't hate on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he stays in
I
school too.
love it.
Have a
Well, you
good
can
night,
try,
everyone.
but I'm sure people do.
All
Exactly.
right,
But
PB.
PB's like
Thanks.
everybody's little brother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have
They
the
call me
OTC club has adopted PB.
yeah.
Yeah, we adopted him. He's our child.
A big
Mm-hmm.
son.
Yes. Our son.
Bye.
All right, you guys. Santa Claus.
wait, was there a question? Is there a question there,
Oh
or was
wait,
it
is
just
there a
that?
question?
Oh no, I just wanted to point that out. Thank you.
Oh, okay. All right, even better. That's easier. I'm happy. Thanks, brother.
All right.
You're making me look good.
I got you.
We
All
have Santa
right.
Claus here to
Santa
talk to you,
Claus.
Bala.
Ho ho ho.
I I do have one quick
Oh,
question,
Matt.
which was like, yeah. So I all I did was fanboy before, but I did have a question, Bala. Because I know you play off the catalyst, the setups. How long? One of my questions was, how long is your average hold? Like your swing trades and your long holds. Do you actually hold some of your gems that you call long?
Oh, dude, you'd have to ask my accountant about that. But like, I don't know. I mean, it's a mixture. Like, I have other accounts. If I really want to hold something super long, it's not going in my main account.
Right.
So like, because
You
it's just like it'll fuck with my head, and then like it's gonna cost me, even if I crush the swing, it's gonna cost me more money and just distractions. Like, it's gonna make my account look all silly, and like I'm trying to day trade and do other shit and do my thing, and grind it out. And
Yeah.
but yeah, man, I mean, I'll hold like when the market's really good. I mean, to be honest, like it's not gonna be a popular opinion. All summer long, people haven't been getting paid for going super long right now. And like
For sure.
people can talk shit about that or whatever, but just look at every chart. They're all in a downtrend long term. So
For sure.
but when it's time, like I'm in with size. I'm taking 6-figure positions on OTCs, and like I maybe take profit a little sooner than some people say they do.
Mhm.
I mean, if I'm up 200% and I have 100 grand in something, and you think I'm not selling some stock, like, if that makes me an asshole, fine. I'm up 200 grand. Like, yeah, I'm selling stock. But
100%.
but usually what I do, if I fucking really love something, and this is what people don't understand, is like, say I'm taking profit on something that I really love. Guess what I'm doing on the dip? I'm slamming the fuck out of every offer, So like,
100%.
and I'm bidding it hard. Like, I'm that dude that you see with that bid where like after you fill your dip buy, you're like, thank God he came in. That's me.
100%.
So
I asked you only because I'm actually the same way now. After I've like learned after 8 months, I buy low. I tell like my followers, small accounts, you got to get in low dubs. You got to get ROI. You have to have value.
Yeah.
If you have a 20K account, 50K account, 100K account, you should not be buying 2-cent stocks because you really don't have the ROI to come back to you. So for me, I load heavy on my low dubs, but for me, is like my main gem is MJWL or so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have some main gems that you keep and you
Hey
load?
Matt, this is your lesson.
I don't know,
Hey
dude.
Matt,
I mean, I'm
wait.
not really looking at the market like that right now, but I mean, I have a bunch of this PHBI and a bunch of this STGZ, and I'm just like, I'm looking at low floaters. Like those are higher prices, so they don't really fit your or especially STGZ. But like those are the ones I have size in right now. I might have a couple other that are slipping my mind, but size for me right now is like 25, 30 grand, maybe 50, and that's just how it is. Cause it's like, I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm cursed. Maybe I'm actually right. But I think that the market makers don't want me to hold as much size right now. And it's just because they have their fuck you algos on right now, and when they have their everybody happy, everybody party algos on, then I'm ready, but it's just like, I'm just not feeling it. Like, I think we're close, but I'm just not feeling it yet. But but yeah, those are the ones I'm looking at right now. I think they'll do pretty well. If they don't, I don't know. I'll be managing my risk. But yeah, dude, this like I say, I'd say this wintertime, get ready. There's gonna be some bangers.
Yes.
And I'm gonna be smoking it. Like, one thing that I expect to happen that I think a lot of people aren't going to tell you right now is that I expect a lot of these thick 000s to heat up big time. And you're going to say, oh, it's never going to move with that share structure. And then all of a sudden you're going to be like, am I buying this thing at dub 5? Yeah, I am. And I wish I didn't sell my trip 5s. But so I think that's going to happen. Every week I wake up, and I don't have size in any of these right now, by the way. But I wake up ready for the possibility that one of those is going to really fire up. And when that happens, I'm going to hit every offer. So you guys have your scanners set up because you're going to see your boy, and
Paula,
Going ham.
we have
Nice. Thanks, Doc Bala.
we have
you're welcome,
Santa.
bro.
We
You're
have
welcome.
Santa up here, and he wants to talk to you.
The Santa?
Did you
Yes.
bring gifts?
Can I have his autograph or what?
Go ahead, Santa.
I got you, dude. You can totally have my autograph. You just gotta fly
Legit,
over to
bro.
the North Pole. I got you. I'll have a few elves do it too.
I was gonna say, get me some L's, get me a Rolly, and get me like some Gucci shoes, size 15, and I'll be a happy man.
All right, I'm legit going to just like hand over a few elves, like not their signatures, elves themselves. I don't know if I can work off some actual Gucci, but I'll have them.
Okay, counterfeit's fine too. As long as my friends think it's real, I'm happy.
Okay, I can make that happen. Now the elves will be real, and if they like if they try to like grab onto the door and just say no, I want to live here, just don't listen to them. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a plan. That's a bet.
All right.
What you got for me, bro?
Dude, I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, I have no idea who anybody is besides Christina. I just joined a random space. It's like, I like this dude's vibe. I want to say what's good and then just leave.
Okay. What's Houston, baby?
Yes.
Where are you from, bro? Where you stay at?
Dude, I'm actually over in Oklahoma right now. What about you?
Okay, nice. Well, I'm in Puerto Rico.
What? Dude, I'm actually planning
But
on
I'm a
moving
man
there.
of the world. I always like to ask because maybe if I'm in Oklahoma, I'll give you a holler.
Yeah, big bet, dog. My DMs are open. I'm actually planning on going to Puerto Rico now because of like their tax rates and everything.
Yeah, I recommend it. I mean, it gets harder every year. I was really lucky with my timing, like many other things in my life. But if it makes sense, it makes sense. So yeah, dude, I recommend it. But if you're ever down there having a margarita, give me a holler.
Big bet, dog. Hey, you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for letting me speak.
All
Thanks,
right, dude. All
Santa.
right, be easy. Be easy.
Take it easy. Bye.
Zach, what's up? You have a question for Bala?
More or less just a statement.
Spack.
What's good, Bala?
What's good, pimpin'?
My brother. So I just wanted to say that like you're definitely as real as it gets. And when I started in OTC back in January, I only followed 3 people from the OTC. It was you, Shamar, and Crown King. And just, I mean, you come into my chat sometimes, and I tell everybody in there, it's just amazing how you are able to catch volume way earlier than most people. And I remember even said something that it's kind of funny that you load too early sometimes. But
oh yeah,
yeah, you're just a good role model, and I think anybody that's like new and especially going into the OTC, they need to learn from traders like you, because I know it helped me immensely because it really taught me about getting in early and the importance of it. So just keep doing what you're doing, and we definitely all appreciate the hard work.
No, much love, bro. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you too, dude. Like I get a lot off your work, and it's helped me make a lot of money. So much love, dude. Thanks for saying that.
Definitely. Let's keep it up.
Yeah, buddy.
Thanks, Spack. And then we have King James. What's up, King James?
What up? What up? Yo, great listen, baller.
Appreciate it,
bro. Much respect to you. A quick one. I remember you alerting because I was watching it. You alerted DRNG 0008 or 9,
yeah.
And then I don't know how long, but then it ran to the dub 9s.
Yeah, how'd I know?
Right there, man. I was like, damn.
How'd I know?
Yeah, how?
Well, because somebody was taking entire levels when nobody was buying shit anywhere else in the entire market. And like most trips were just bags. And then somebody was just like, they would take the whole level off. And I could tell from the way it was printed, it was one order. And the guy who did that is literally out there listening to me right now. Like, all right, dude, I'm going to try to do it different next time so you won't notice. And guess what? I'm going to figure out what you're doing next time. I'm going to find it again. I'm going to buy it. And then I'm going to tweet that shit because that's what I fucking do.
Hell yeah.
So, but yeah, that's how I could tell, dude. It's, somebody was taking entire levels and, it was at a time in the market where they really weren't buying a lot. But you got to remember that, like, I'm going to say that and people are going to go out and be like, oh, dude, wow, like, license to print money. But, like, look how many times I post something that doesn't do shit.
For real.
And I'm sitting there looking like an idiot, like, oh, I see you loading, trying to talk shit to whoever's loading, and I'm wrong. There's nobody loading. Or like, they're wash trading it. Or, like, who knows what they're doing,
Yeah.
But, so it's always a bet you got to take, no matter what. But, yeah, dude, I mean, you start to see these L2s. And you develop that intuition, and sometimes it'll be the way it hits the scan. I think it hit the scanner once, and then I watched the level 2. Like, I'll watch these things for days, too. Sometimes before I take a position, sometimes as I'm building one, But that's where you really start to see, like, that's what I love about OTC, is instead of all this, like, it's not like these other level 2s are going to give me a fucking seizure when I look at them. But the OTC level 2s, I just look at them. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I see what you guys just did there. It's like one buy after another. So it's cool, and I'm fascinated by these things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can watch them all day long. Just, so
It,
But yeah, that's where it comes from. I wish I had a better answer, but like somebody was just taking whole levels, and then they'll put some. The other thing is pay attention to the market makers too, because you'll see a new come in, like it'll be a bunch of market makers stacked up on the offer, right?
mm-hmm.
And then you're gonna see Citadel come in with a little 3 mil order, and like that's the little sheep that's on the outside looking in, and you're gonna see the rest. They're gonna take the whole thing. And the rest of those orders were fake. That was a loading wall, or it was like they threw a loading wall up on a few other MMs, and then you see some normal, like I say, Joe Jerkoff like me come in, and I think I'm gonna sell my shares. I'm gonna sell DRNG at trip 9 because like I need that $2,700, and they come in and slap that little guy's 3 mil out,
Mm-hmm.
and but you can sort of tell, like you can almost feel the vibe. Like if you're watching the L2, you see it show up on that MM, and then they just take it before some asshole like me takes it,
Okay.
And then, all right, dude, you know what? I could feel that. So it's sort of like you get that intuition, like, oh, they're up to something,
Yeah.
So
Hey,
I don't know.
I have one more question. You really caught my interest. You said CEOs watching, and they want you to sell
Yeah,
on them.
yeah.
No,
So these
what is
these
that?
these fucking scumbags have your name on a list, and they like if they don't like the fact that you own shares, they'll wait till you sell.
Okay.
And the other thing is, a lot of these companies are like, this is me. I'm gonna put my tinfoil hat on for a
And
second, and I
this
already
is
did,
more
to be
like the
honest.
whales. You're
Yeah,
not
but you
saying
got to
like
remember,
20
I'm
mil
I'm
shares.
not that guy, bro. Like I don't know anybody. Like I'm just some kid who decided he was going to do penny stocks. So like I don't know this is true. This is my speculation. But so I know the Noble list because CEOs have fucked up and posted that on their Twitter before. Without like it's in their screenshot, and it'll be like behind something else that they meant to post, and it'll say Novo shareholder list. And I know what that is. It's a non-objecting beneficial owner, which means you're willing to let them know that you own stock. So, so they'll have most people on a list.
That's fucked up.
And they know how much they own, and it's updated, I think, daily. I'm not really sure, but that's what I speculate. And yeah, if they don't like you owning stock, then they won't. They're not going to do shit. And you got to remember, they got other companies they can do shit with. And this is again, I put my tinfoil hat on hardcore here. I don't know this.
Yeah.
I don't have a Series 7. My daddy wasn't in finance, My daddy doesn't know shit about any of this, dude. He put his money under the mattress, So like I don't know any of this for sure, but I just think that what they do, say I own fucking a bunch of the float and the market's pretty weak, like it's this time of year where like there's not a ton of liquidity. They really can't get a good pump together if I own that much stock. Then what they're going to do is just do the good merger for another company. And that's where it's not the CEO anymore, but it's somebody higher up, because the CEO is not the highest guy up, by the way. A lot of people might think that, but it's not how OTC works. He's not paying the bills. He's not keeping the lights on, So, that might happen too, where they feel like they just got to get their hands on enough stock, and they're not going to let you. They're not going to run it with you. So they'll just move it into, all right, what can we lock down? And you got this custo shit was just a whole extension of that. Look at these custodians. If they can't lock down the float on one ticker, you think they didn't already have all these candidates lined up ahead of time? Like, oh, well, this ticker's perfect for that company. Yeah, right, dude. Like I just don't buy it. So, yeah. Point being, all that was meant to be is that someone's out there to fuck you, and they don't want you to make money. Which you probably already know. So,
Yes.
but
Hey,
yeah, but
thank
one
you.
thing I will say is other times of year, I don't think they give a shit. Like when the market's really good, it's more like time is of the essence. We're not going to wait around. If you guys want to hold stock, fine. Hopefully you'll tell somebody about it, and they just sort of do it, So like, and again, this is all just my instinct talking. I don't know any of this for sure. I'm just some asshole off the street. I don't know. So like, that's how I feel though.
Best answer. All right. And then next we have Justice Obasi. What's up, Justice?
Yeah,
What's
hi.
up,
Thanks for
Justice?
what's good, guys. Thanks for accepting my request. And I just got to say, Bala, I remember when I first got into OTC, like I was doing like research on tickers, and I found INKW and like the trips. I remember you were one of the first people to tweet it at like 0.002 or something, and it went all the way to 10 cents. And that was like my first person
Hell
like
yeah,
walking back.
bro.
Yeah,
Hell
bro.
yeah. That's
You and
fucking
me, I
cool.
remember, bro, on the feed of Twitter, it was only me for a while, then some other people, and I saw you and Stock Pop and a few others. Yeah, that was a beauty. That was in January. So I just want to say, thanks for that. You gave me, like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I did this mistake with AITX when it felt like from a cent to half a cent. I panic sold, and then it went to like 20 cents. But for INKW, when I saw your tweet, I just, because I saw your track record as well, I'm like, okay, I had more faith. And then like it just
Yeah.
let me hold it all the way to like 10 cents, and I made quite a
Ah,
bit. And
man.
thank you. Help.
Thank yourself, bro. You took the risk.
Yeah,
You
you're
took the
right. Yeah,
shot.
you're
I'm
right.
happy you made it out on it.
Yeah, thanks, man. Help pay for like tuition and all that bullshit for school. So yeah, I
Hell
appreciate
yeah.
it,
Hell
man.
yeah.
Yeah, just keep on doing what you're doing, bro. I appreciate it. And yeah, if you make your Discord public, I'd love to join it.
Yeah, well, I got this Telegram. I'll post the link after the interview, all right?
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, that's all I got really. Thank you, man. Take care.
All right, brother. Much love. Thanks for checking
Thank
in.
you, Justice. And now we have Candace.
So, guys, listen, I know a lot of you probably have seen my name popping up on comments. I'm a stalker.
I have. You're a non-hater. I like that.
Baller,
Congratulations on
you
that.
my
You're already
guy.
winning.
I beg Matt. Like Matt, first of all, is an amazing human being. Doll, all of you guys. I just want to say hi to a few people because, like, I really fucking love you guys. Shamar is the first person that turned me on to OTC. I followed him from Mr. M, who is a motherfucking killer in NASDAQ. But I found Shamar from him. And like I found my OTC family. You guys are amazing. So Tigress, Crown, SPAC, Tactical, PB. It's like I follow all of you guys. I see you. It's a couple of other people in here that I'm probably missing. Sal. I've linked up with some of these guys like outside of Twitter and talk to them. Amazing fucking human beings. That's why I fuck with y'all. Ball, I don't even have time to name all the stocks. I watch you. I fucking like. I bought shit. If he say buy it, I'm a buy it.
I love you, Candace.
For
We
six
love you,
dollars.
Candace. Candace, where
I
you
love
from,
you.
Candace?
Like my account is little. I'm a nobody. Like I don't. My account isn't even over 5,000.
Don't
But
ever say you're nobody.
But that doesn't even matter.
Don't
you
ever say
guys
that.
are amazing. No, when I say a nobody, no, like I'm big shit, right? I'm a whole fucking doctor. So I don't like when I say a nobody, I mean just when it comes to OTC. I don't
You're
have
like,
Yeah.
what
but I am
Ball
a
has.
doctor.
I don't have what Matt has. I don't make 8 figures, but I know I've
I'm just a
learned a
paper
lot from
trader. I
following
already
you
told you
guys.
that.
But
And
Candace,
yeah,
what you did for me is truly a friend, and we've reached out,
yes.
we've connected, and this woman is endless, selfless gratitude that I owe a lot to. This you are amazing, Candace, and I appreciate everything you've done for me. And no one knows what you've done for me. We've talked on the side. This woman is respectable, professional, and whether or not her account shows it, thank you. That's all I have to say is thank you.
Matt, I love you. Like, you guys don't know. I stalk some of you guys. I post on your shit all the time. You're probably like, she's crazy. Who the fuck is this person?
No.
But like, I don't know you guys individually. I may not have linked up with you like Matt. Shamar is one of the people I really want to like say big up to. He got me in UATG at like a third, less than a third of a penny, and I made $1,000 off that shit in one day. But that was before I started following Matt, and Matt taught me buy the dips and sell the rip. And I didn't sell the rip, but it's cool because OTC is back gonna be lit now, and I can make it back. But like, I appreciate
Mm-hmm.
you guys. I fucking love you, Stockball. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. You are the fucking man. You
That's
understand?
right, Candace.
I
Thank
don't
you.
give a fuck
Thank
who
you.
tells you, who sends you a message. I'm gonna
Candace,
find you at
And
that
I
grocery
see you
store.
out there. I see Candace. I see you out there showing love.
that's
And
right.
like, you might not think that it means something to somebody like me, but it does. Because like, I just wake up. Generally, I wake up in the morning and
Mm,
I have my coffee and I'm
yeah,
ready to crush it. And then it's like,
and
Stockball, you piece of
I
shit.
love
You lost
coffee
money.
too,
I
so I
lost
fuck
money on
with you
this.
on
What'd you
that
do? And I'm
too.
like, all right, let's make it a good day.
Yeah,
But like, that's the shit I deal with. So like, a lot of people who like I've
Mm-hmm.
had a positive impact on, they're like a little more silent about it, which is cool. I get that. Like I was the same way. But it's cool to have
Mm-hmm.
people who are positive, who are out there, and like it means a lot to me too. So I just wanted to say that.
yeah, and so like, if
Mm-hmm.
I'm being a stalker, or I'm being weird. It's not because I'm like this. Look, no,
Nah, I don't take it that way. I'm
yeah,
a positive guy too. That's the thing, is
yeah,
I'm not out there to hate or be like or judge people or be like, oh, like I just yo, if you're trying to be positive, you think I'm going to take that the wrong way? Fuck no.
No, and
You
that's
know?
what I love about you because you're so down to earth. But I'm on that same like fuck you attitude too. It's like, listen, like I am who I am. I'm a whole psychiatrist, and people like whatever. People got their own shit going on. But you are one of
Right.
the like listening to this. I'm like Matt. I'm fangirling out. I'm like, you're so fucking cool. Like you just do you, but you do you in the most fun, like sarcastic. I love that shit. I
Hey,
fucking love it.
Candace.
So
Candace, I got a
yes,
question for you. Where you from?
absolutely. I'm from Atlanta.
You from Atlanta?
I'm born and raised from the block. I'm from the hood. So like that's why I fuck with stock. Like he said, he came up on Jeezy. I'm from the hood. I made it out the mud. Like they
Hmm.
say that shit, and
Look,
it's fine. My
Rue from
family's
Atlanta too.
dysfunctional. Yeah, so
Rue
I
from
have like
And
three.
Candace,
Yes,
that's why me and you get along, and why
exactly.
Baller and
Cause you from
others,
the hood too,
why we
Matt.
say is who cares about Twitter?
Yeah,
Let's just live it, let and be happy about it. Like,
exactly.
have fun on Twitter.
And
It's about fun.
yes, and
Yeah, and
so
I
No
you
think
guys,
ego.
you Crown, Lou Chains, that's another one I'm saying on here. I mean, it's a lot of you guys I could name. I'm trying to go through because like you guys don't know, like I love you guys not for the money you make me. Fuck that. I don't care about that because I don't care. I'm still in training and I make less than $50,000. They pimping the shit out of me right now, y'all. But I don't care because I get on Twitter every day and I'm at work and that's what I fucking do at work. Like y'all see me when y'all see me comment on y'all shit, I'm at work. I'm fucking working, and I'm like, fuck these people because like I got an OTC Twitter family. We over here having fun. So I just want to let you guys know. I didn't even want to get on here and say this much because I want to give somebody else time. But thank you guys, Doll, Tigress, like all y'all. When y'all see me on y'all shit, it's because I fuck with you, even if I don't know you. I fuck with you heavy, and I appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Candace.
Thanks, Candace. I love
much
Oh yeah,
you.
love.
Christine,
Love
Much
you
love.
guys
Candace just
too.
reminded me. Are we still within that time frame for the Twitter
Um,
Spaces? You remember what happened last time?
oh, I know. I have to cut it shorter now. I know there's like a bunch of people requesting. I'm gonna try to get through it really fast. You guys have like 30 seconds to ask questions. Not an option. What's up?
My bro.
Yo, what up, brother?
What's up, brother?
Hey, I just wanted to give a shout out. This dude changed my life. I started out with, pretty much a 4 or 5 figure account, and he pretty much walked me through the game and taught me the game, and it ended up where I made a really good friend from it all, and I
Oh,
turned 5, 4 or 5, turned into 6, 7 figures, and I really can't thank this dude enough. This dude is genuine. This dude is awesome. You have any questions, the dude will answer it. And Balla, I always say it all the time, man. Life changing, bro, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
I love
I
you, brother. I love you,
Love you
and
too,
I'm gonna
bro.
come and see you soon. All right.
All
We
right,
miss you.
brother.
Say hi to the wife.
Yeah, we'll
oh,
do,
Thank you.
bro. Thank you.
All right,
got
dude.
an option. Next, Tenzin.
So I had a question regarding selling put stocks and selling buy, and which one is like more regarding that? Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Tenzin, how about you send us the message? Did you understand it, Baller?
Setting buys and setting sells.
Yeah, selling buys and selling put.
Yeah. I don't know. I might completely miss the point of the question. I'm not sure. I think it from a very basic perspective, you want to buy at you want to buy at support and sell at resistance. Other than that, I mean, try not to sell too much volume in OTC like relative to the day's volume. Use good till canceled orders, I guess, because like a lot of times they put you in a queue on the level 2. Don't know if that's what you're asking, but anyway, that's what I would say about buying and selling. But yeah, buy support, sell resistances. It sounds really simple, but a lot of people don't do it. And honestly, like all these people looking for 10 baggers should just learn how to do that first. So that's the simplest answer I got.
All right. And
Did I
then
do good or what?
yeah,
No?
you did great.
Okay.
I think that was
Did I
good.
break the game? Did I break the game?
True OTC
I felt
stocks.
like I broke the program. Yeah, I broke the interview.
Stocks, go ahead. No? True OTC stocks.
Night,
Unmute your
night.
mic. Oh my lord.
Next.
I can keep asking questions if anyone wants me to.
You
But
guys could call each other now.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah,
So
we will. I'm actually gonna fly out to see him in 2 weeks. So you better answer my DM. I'm
All
coming
right,
living
mini
here.
Mary
thoughts.
stocks. Go ahead.
Menachem. Good.
Menachem. Hey.
Yeah. First of all, I want to thank you guys for making this this room. It's really incredible. The amount of information is enormous. I wish this was like something that's recorded and I could
It is
re-listen.
recorded.
Oh, okay, awesome. So yeah, so stock Bala, yeah, really incredible information. I'm going to ask you something more specific. So, there's, you were mentioning how you try to get early. You're looking at the level 2. You're looking at blocks that are being bought out, and the way they're being bought out, if it's manipulation and so forth. So now that OTC is kind of changing, where the new CE is the stop sign, so that's pretty much going to push like a lot of plays to trips, right? So, like, I mean, you could technically have like a lot of level 2s showing up of stocks being bought out, but you kind of, it's very limited like who buys them. So it's like a whole different psychology over here. What
Yeah,
would
so you're not going to see a level 2 with a stock that is off the that is like from now on. If you have a stop sign, it's not going to have an L2, and that's
oh
the whole
really?
problem.
Wow, so it's going
Yeah,
to be like the grays, like completely.
yeah. Well, that's what they're going to do. They're going to start sending them to the grays. They might send them all at once. I don't really know how it's going to look, but like that's generally what's going to happen. Yes.
Okay.
So, but at the same time, even if a stock, I mean, it's beyond the point, because even if a stock is a piece of shit, nobody's going to be buying it, right? So, like, if everybody tells you it's terrible and yet you see people buying it, that's why I'm always out there trolling people on Twitter, like some burner account that some guy's clearly getting paid $8 an hour to post on. And I'm just like, oh, really? This is bad? Why do you care? All I see is people buying it, But that's why I'm always talking shit, is because I know they want it, That's why they're trying to. They hate. Not only do I come in, but I tell all my everyone on Twitter. I tell everybody else to come in. Think about how that makes these guys feel, who are trying to lock down the bottom. They probably want my head on a stick, dude. Like, the best thing I'd be able to do is just like do everything silently. But I just have this compulsive need to help people for some reason. But yeah, that's not. So you're never really going to see something, and this goes in life. This is a life concept. You're never going to see something in demand that's worthless. You know what I'm saying? So if you see somebody taking out levels on anything in life, try to get some. That's my advice.
Cool.
And No Shirt Nell, you're next. What's
All
up?
right.
No Shirt Nell, unmute your mic. Again?
Hold on.
Okay.
I
Okay,
All
cool.
got
right.
through. As soon as I'm fucking licking up a blunt, y'all fucking pick me. All right. My bad. All right. So first of all, thanks to all you guys. Like, I think like 5 rows of these people I follow. I'm also a stalker, just like Candace. I actually started following Balla not too long ago. I've seen you in the feed for a while, and then I was like, you know what? Everybody else is following him. Let me follow you. But I wanted to pick your brain about one thing, and so you started talking about the whole level 2 thing. And I noticed something on Thursday. I went to sell my AUNXF, and I had 500,000 shares. And when I put it, I immediately saw it go into the level 2, but it was under Citadel's. It was under Citadel, and I trade with Schwab, not Citadel. I'm a broke guy.
Yeah. So the when you route through a retail brokerage, they're just going to route you through a retail market maker. So if you get on, if you're on any of these, anything that we all use,
Yeah.
unless it's Interactive Brokers or one of the foreign offshore brokers, they're just going to generally route you through either Citadel, Knight, ETRF. It's a little confusing because ETRF is E-Trade Financial,
Yeah.
So I don't blame you for getting confused, because like that should be E-Trade. But you can literally route from TD through ETRF. It's just a retail market maker. So like they're kind of separate. I think, as I understand it, I mean, I never really worked in finance, but they're kind of separate businesses.
Mhm.
So, you know, the broker gets the order from you, and then they go through their market maker and they route through that guy, and that's how they actually get the shares.
Oh, well, that's crazy because I've seen plenty of cells that I do, and it'll go to Citadel or it'll go to somebody else, and I'm just like, what's the deal with this? Why isn't it like consistent? It's always somebody else.
Yeah, it's always going to be retail. I'm not sure why they go through different retails, but that's sort of what I was talking about earlier, where you'll see like, you know, a guy show up with an order and you can see, oh, that guy's just a normal retail guy.
Yeah.
And then that's what gives you a lot of info is what do they do to that dude? Do they take him right out before he even has time to change his mind?
Yeah. Because I saw the
You know,
guy
and then that's when you
something
know
about like,
maybe
oh,
somebody
the
knows
wall
something.
just got the wall just got thinner, and I'm like, bro, that was me. That was just one trade. Like,
Yeah, well, you know, you got to
the
be these people.
manipulation
A
is
lot of
real.
people are out there posting shit and they have no idea what they're talking about. So that's part of it. Is you'll see people talking about level 2, and I just like if I didn't have better shit to do during my day, I would just go through and just be like, nope, that's not how this works. Actually, that's what was going. But it's just like that type of shit. You'll see people talking about cross trades, you know, and they say that's a transaction. It's not. It's a settlement. You know, it's a settlement between market makers, and it has to do with dilution. But like, it's not somebody like us. So when you see a cross print, that means that they were, you know, someone was diluting shares all day, and that's where they settled everything up, you know, and evened everything out. So, but yeah, you're just gonna go through retail, you know, and that's cool. And if you go through IB, Interactive Brokers, or Sure Trader, or any of these offshore people, I think that they do. I mean, I never use them, but I think that they do. OTCX or like something like that. So you see, that's more disinformation, you know, for guys that are trying to learn. Is you have people saying, "Oh, OTCX is a diluter." It's like you see a 500K block on the ask with OTCX. 99 times out of 100, it's someone with an Interactive Brokers account or a foreign account, and it's not dilution, and it's just because they can only sell 500,000 shares at a time because that's how Interactive Brokers works, and OTCX is their market maker that they route through. You know, so it's very confusing. I don't blame you for getting confused. Everybody's out there giving the wrong information. You know, there's a lot of people that are talking about level 2. I mean, the way I learned the game is I would read posts, but always take it with a grain of salt. You know, because sometimes people are just telling you what they you know what serves their own purpose at that time. You know, so
And
I
Well,
will.
Stockballer.
amazing. Yes,
And
amazing.
Stockballer,
We,
Go ahead, John.
you said you weren't that smart, huh?
I know.
Hey,
You're like,
Bala, I will say, what do you think about? So, what I do with which makes sense to what he just said is for some of my trades, I will put up like 250K, 500K blocks, and I will walk the bid up because the MMs won't sell to me. I will watch the L2 and I'll wait. The only people that sell to me is retail because the MMs know that when I walk my bid up, I can hold that stock up and they play their games, MMs, up and down. And
yeah, I think that's interesting. I think that's an interesting theory, and I'm not going to admit to saying that I've done that. But
I do it. I do it every day.
I think you might be onto something there. So,
Yeah. So they won't sell to
but
me, but I know when retail starts like chipping away at like 5 gram, so I'll put 250K. They'll chip away at 10K, 20K. Then I'll know it's retail. But I know
I
the
think that's
MMs
how,
aren't selling.
brother. I think that's how the whole market works, and like
100%.
I think
Right.
that's where you know you see a lot of people on the other side of things. You see people talking about the like buying a starter, right? And I think a lot of these guys are so smart that they don't even know what they're doing. But in reality, what you're doing with buying a starter is you're gauging the market. It's market research. So like if I put up, let's say I want to buy, you know, a few million shares and I put up 500K on the bid and they fill that shit in 2 seconds, I know I can get it cheaper, you know? If it takes me all day to fill it, I know maybe that's where I want to start actually stepping in and buying real size. You know, so I think that's what you're doing on the other side. It's just how easy are they going to sell? Like, yeah, it's a little lot, you know, and it's not like you don't want the shares. There's nothing wrong with doing what you're doing, you know, but you know, if you really want those shares. So how easy are they going to give me these shares? Okay, let's see. And if they won't even give you 250K on a low volume name, I mean, it depends on the price, obviously, but let's say they won't even give you a small lot on a low volume name. Yeah, you're onto something. And when you're holding size, to lock it up. So I agree with that. And I think that in pennies, the only way to really get a good, there's so much bullshit and so much smoke and mirrors and so much manipulation. The only way to really get a good idea of what's going on is by participating in the market. You have to participate. You have to change. You have to make a wave in the ocean. You have to make a ripple in your environment. Like it's like he says in The Departed. Like, I don't want to be a product of my environment. I want my environment to be a product of me. But like that's what it is. You gotta make sure, you gotta see, like that's the only way you can tell what's going on. So I think I think all smart traders sort of do that intuitively, whether they know it or not. Whether it's buying a starter or doing what you're talking about. And like, dude, I think when people start to like call you out, like, oh, you almost know too much, your intuition's too good. Like, what do you know something? That's because they don't do shit like that. And that's where you get those type of vibes from. So like, bro, I think that was some gold shit that you just laid down. And that's just my opinion, but.
Bala, I hate to freaking cut this off, but I do have to apologize to all the people. You have a bunch of people wanting to ask you questions, but we do have to cut it off now because if we don't, it won't let us upload this onto YouTube because we noticed that if it's too long, it just won't let us like convert. So we do want to ask if you have any closing statements to anybody.
I don't. I'm sorry I rambled on.
No.
Like I say, it's always verbal
No,
diarrhea with me, but I
No,
hope that somebody got something out of this. And much love to everybody. Thanks for having me on, you guys, and
we all got
appreciate all the
some.
love. It's nice to know that I hear so many negative voices. It's nice to hear something positive for a change. So that's all I'll leave it with. And I love you guys, and thanks so
All
much.
love, all
yes,
love.
Appreciate it. Love you too.
All
we
right,
love
Bola.
you.
Thank you so much for coming on to the OTC Club. And you guys, this will be uploaded on YouTube. Go ahead and follow all the people up here. Follow Stockballer, follow the OTC Club, and hit that bell for updates. The next show is West Coast Wednesdays on a Wednesday.
Yes. Bye, guys. We love
Bye.
you guys. Good trading week.
Bye.
Bye.